So this question is about the extraction of iron, and it wants us to identify what is happening in here to the different things. Well, first, let's just remind ourselves, iron oxide is becoming iron. And how does it do that? It does that by removal of oxygen, and removal of oxygen is reduction. And the carbon, what we've done here is add oxygen because it's become carbon dioxide, and that is called oxidation. So if we just check here, the options, carbon is reduced is not true. Iron oxide is neutralized, that's got nothing to do with it, they're just chucking a scientific word at us, so get rid of that one. Iron oxide is reduced, well we can see, that's what we've actually identified, so it's looking like that one is correct. Let's just check, iron is oxidized, not true. So the only option there that's sensible is option C. Part 2 is a calculation, so to save a bit of time, I've actually completed this. Let me just remind you of a couple of key steps. Number 1, this triangle here is that Mr. Moles lives underneath the mass. We're going to need this triangle in this calculation. And the first thing we need to do is we need to convert or find out the number of moles in this 240 tons of the iron oxide. So to do that, I'm using the equation to find moles. So moles is mass divided by mR. So the mass is 240 from the question. The mR I've got to work out. So to do that, we'll come down to a little bubble here. This is the formula for iron oxide. So I've got 2 lots of iron, which is 2 times 56. And then I've got 3 lots of oxygen, which is 3 times 16. Work those out, add them up, get a total of 160. So the mR here is 160. So this calculation is 240 divided by 160 is 1.5. Then what I need to do is link these together in the ratio. So I can see that every time I have 1 mole of this, it contains 2 lots of iron, so I will make 2 moles of iron. So my ratio is 1 mole to 2, so that ratio is doubling as we go this way. So if I have 1.5 moles, how much will I get? Double it, I'll get 3. So I've got 3 moles of iron being produced. So now I know how many moles of iron there is. What I can then do is find the mass. So the mass is equal to the mR times by the moles. The mR for iron tells me in the question is 56. Number of moles just worked out is 3. Multiply that out to get an answer of 168.